Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. May I introduce myself? My name is Tonny Judiantono. I am a lecturer at the Urban and Regional Planning program, graduate program of Bandung Islamic University. Let me share my paper. Okay. Okay. Yeah. My paper, the title of my paper is the comparison of effectiveness and efficiency between land transport and short sea transport case across Java-Sumatra. I read this paper, which collaborate with my colleague, Dadan Muksin. He is also a lecturer at the Urban and Regional Planning program. Introduction. National logistic problem. In general, the logistic system in Indonesia currently does not have an unified vision that can support the increase in competitiveness of business actors and increase the welfare of the people. Even the guidance and authority related to logistic activities is relatively partial and sectoral in each related ministry or institution, while coordination is inadequate. The inefficient flow of goods will have an impact on the high price of goods and the burden for the provision of transport infrastructure, such as new roads, road maintenance, and so forth. The purpose of this study is to obtain a comparison of choice of transportation mode of goods to be considered in formulating policy of the movement of freight transportation between the Java-Sumatra region. The island of Java and Sumatra are the region with the largest number of population in Indonesia, more than 210 million people. Thus, the movement flow of goods for consumer goods production and others is very large. Figure 1 can see the illustration of national logistic problem. Problem, the transportation and distribution structure problem, the policy problem, policy and regulation, commodity problem, information and communication infrastructure problem, logistic services providers and actors, and the last but not least is the human resource problem. Okay. The research methodology. The study was conducted through data of collection of the origin destination of goods, including the volume and type of goods on land and sea transportation modes, the varieties of transportation such as ports, terminal, station, markets, etc. The data is then analyzed using the trajectory method, effectiveness and efficiency method, and accounting for transportation cost method. You can see at the figure 2.2. The approach starting from identification of data, loading and unloading of ferry ports, and data loading seaport. The second data is a basis for preparing the analysis of types of commodity and origin destination distance. Furthermore, through the trajectory analysis of the type of origin destination distance commodity, it can be identified the movement path that is traversed from the land, sea, and roads. You can see at the figure 2.1. Yeah. At the figure 2.1, the study approach of transportation effectiveness and efficiency. The figure 2.2 is the methodology of chart. The analysis method of effectiveness and efficiency is use terminology of the effective and efficient, where the efficient is comparing between output and the input. Well, if the actual output compared to the target output is greater than 1 or equal to 1, activities and efficiency will be achieved. If the actual output to the target output is less than 1, then the effectiveness and efficiency will not be achieved. While the cost accounting analysis method versus cost accounting is the process of identifying, recording, calculating, summarizing, evaluating, and reporting the cost of product, both goods and services, using certain methods and systems so that company management can make effective and efficient business decisions. Result decision. Figure 3.1 can see the comparison chart of freight routes for the small and medium industrial products, like packet foods from Semarang to Medan. You can see by sea, road, and railway. The first line, the green line, you can see there's we can use the combination between rail transport and road transport, which consume more than 130 hours and cost more than 43 million. And while for the red one, yeah, we can use we choose road transport, yeah, road transport, land transportation, consume 183 hours and cost more than 11 million. Meanwhile, for the sea transport, the blue line, you can see the blue line, consume 140 hours and cost more than 20 million. So you can see that the sea transport is more efficient than land transport, and the combination between rail transport and road transport. Figure 3.2, the comparison gap of freight routes for transportation motorbike. Just for motorbike, the green line, you can see the combination between rail and land transport can consume more than 130 hours and cost 47 million, more than 47 million. Meanwhile, the sea transport only blue line only 126 hours and consume cost to 21 million. And for the land transport, it's just it consumes 230 hours and cost more than 16 million. As you can see that sea transport still efficient than the others. There's also figure 3.3, okay, for food pack. You can see the green line, the blue line, and the red line. Also figures for figure 3.4. Yeah, the green line is green line is a combination between rail and land transportation, and the blue line is a sea transport, short sea transport, and the red line is a land transport. Yeah, which consume 283 hours and more than 60 million cost. The conclusion: the transportation of goods between the island of Sumatra and Java will continue to increase in tonnage and frequency following the increase in population, socioeconomic activity of the population, and the increase in quality and variety of living needs of the population in both islands. Transportation of goods between the island of Sumatra and Java at present and in the next few years will still depend mainly on land transportation and sea transportation, while air transportation has limited tonnage capacity and is expensive to transport goods. Sea transportation has an excess of more tonnage in one transport than land transportation, or in other words, for large tonnage, land transportation requires a higher frequency of transport. High frequency of transportation in land transportation by road and rail will have limits, both in terms of schedule, for trains, as well as in terms of the level of damage caused by the amount of cargo and the amount of cargo passed on the road structure. So, freight transportation still requires a balanced division between land transportation and sea transportation. The efficiency and effectiveness analysis showed this that the JAVA-SUMATERA route sea transportation is still more efficient and effective than road transportation, especially for transportation in large quantity. However, because people are not familiar with the process and procedure that must be followed in sea transportation, this makes sea transportation unpopular, and the choice of road transportation tends to be still the main choice of JAVA-SUMATERA freight operators. Yes. Yeah. Sea transportation can take place with the proper functioning of all infrastructure and superstructure of seaports, while considering that Java and Sumatra are separated by the sea until north. Strait. Land transportation is highly dependent on the proper functioning of both infrastructure and superstructure and the crossing port, namely between Bakahuni and Merak. It is necessary to improve regulation and rates that can balance the distribution of transportation between sea transportation and land transportation through synchronization, which is analyzed in a national system between ports and seaports, with ports and ferry ports. For example, for the transportation of new type of cargo or output, at sea transport, the tariff is calculated per unit of vehicles, while at ferry ports, it is calculated per transport trailer, whereas one trailer consists of units of new vehicles. If this is not adjusted, it will result in user choice that do not balance the system. Land transportation will tend to be too congested, while sea transportation will be less optimal, so that the national transportation system becomes ineffective and inefficient. And the last, balancing the distribution of option between land transportation and sea transportation needs to pay attention to the type of commodity, total tonnage of the commodity, and the possible number of frequency of commodity transportation needs. That's all, and thank you very much. And wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.